As you might recall, we added views. It was at the end of the PDF file for those people that are reading the PDF file. And a quick review of what we did last time was we went to the room, and in the room settings, I changed the height of the room and I added a 0. Previously we were 480 and I added a 0 to make us 4,800. And then I went to views and I said enable the use of views, so I put a check mark there. And I said visible when room starts, so I put a check mark there. And I said we're going to view 640 by 480, but when we start, I want to start at X position 0, Y position 4320, which is way down here. And I don't know if you can see, but on the screen there's a little line here that's drawn. That's at 4320, and if I pull up the room here, make it a bit larger, you'll see this is what is going to be viewed on the screen. Everything from there to there. The next thing I needed to do is I deleted controller enemy. I no longer need this, so I can get rid of controller enemy because the enemies aren't going to be controlled like they were. We're actually going to place them in exact position. So I'll go up the room and you'll see I've placed some enemies here. And then what I did is in the game controller, in the step of the game controller, I set a variable called view underscore y view, and that's where we are seeing. And I said make that view 2 less every time, and so it's going to go up, 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 up. So the Y portion of the view is going to follow us up. So the room is not really going to change. Just what we're seeing on the screen is going to slowly scroll up as if we're flying over it. And then finally I needed to put, well, if we hit the top, we better stop the game. Otherwise things are going to crash. So I added that as well. There was one problem, though, that came up. Everything else worked pretty well. When I substituted view Y view, instead of variable Y, I used variable view Y view. For example, in drawing the scoreboard, I don't draw it at position 404. Rather, I draw it at whatever's on the view plus 404. So it'll be at the bottom of what we're currently viewing. So that was fine, but I'm just going to hit play and you'll see something that's going to be a little bit of a problem. When things are out of view, I don't want them to do anything. And watch what happens in my game. As I start playing the game now, so they're flying along here. It's a little bit loud, but it's raining bullets. Yikes, it was raining bullets. Those bullets were coming from ships that are at the top of the screen. Those ships are way up here, and they may be shooting bullets. So that's no good. So I don't want any of the ships to move unless they're in view. So here's what we need to do with each of the ships. I don't want them to do anything. So instead of the create event setting the speed, it's going to happen in the step event. So I'm going to cut it out of here and I'm going to put it in the step event. So I'm going to set the vertical speed. And then here I've got variable y. Oh, there's going to be a problem here. Well, if variable y is larger than the room height, that's not exactly what I want. Rather, what I want is if variable y is larger than view underscore y view plus the room height. Then what I want it to do is not jump to a new position. We're done. So that ship, I want it not to do anything. So basically, if I'm in view, and let me just put a comment here. This doesn't do anything, a comment. So if the plane is in view, on screen, in other words. So if the plane is in view, I want it to start moving, and if it's, when I move, if you're larger than the room, well then destroy yourself. Sure, that sounds good. So I want to add that. So I'm going to add these, I'm going to now modify the step event enemy 2. So enemy 2, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to modify the step event. So we'll delete the create event. And in the step event, I need to modify if the plane is in view, set the vertical speed. If it's larger, destroy itself. So I'll get rid of that. Okay. So if it's in view, I want it to do this. Well, what if it's not in view? I didn't really do anything of what to do if it's not in view. So what do we do if the plane's not in view? So if the plane is not in view, the plane is not in view. So it's not on screen. So if the plane's not on screen, what I can do is I can test, that would be variable y is smaller than view underscore y view. So if y is smaller than view underscore y view, I want to not do anything. So I say exit the vent. And the other case where the plane's not in view is if variable y is larger than view underscore y view plus room height, or 640. I'll change it to 6. I should change it to 640 actually. No, 480. Pardon me. Because the height of the view is 480. So if it's larger than that, so I should need to change that. Instead of room height, I'm just going to use 480. Okay, so that what is going to happen is if y is smaller than the view, exit the vent. If y is larger than the view, exit the vent. So if those two cases happen, I don't want to do anything. So again, let me add this now to all the other plane modes. Okay, so if y is smaller than the view, don't do anything. If y is larger than the view, don't do anything. And if the plane is in the view, then go ahead and start moving down. And if when it moves down, it's off the screen, then destroy itself. Okay, so I do that to plane 1. I'm going to do that to plane 2. So I'll just delete this and add that there. And I need to do that to plane 3. And now what's going to happen is it's not going to start shooting bullets until it's in the view. So in the step event, what we're going to do is we're still going to 1 out of 30 shoot, but that's only going to happen if it's in view. So if the plane's not in view, exit the vent. If the plane's in view, exit the vent. But if the plane is in the view, go down. If it's off, destroy itself and make bullets. And that should make it work. I'm going to turn the volume down and press play, and hopefully that's the final stages of the game. And now all I need to do is come up with some interesting ways to set the objects. Oh, one last quick thing before I go. Last day in the settings, in the backgrounds, I made a mistake. You need to make sure the vertical speed is 0. And also in the enemy, I made a mistake, I believe, that in the step event, y is going to step I put +2. That's wrong. We want to go up, so we're going to go -2, because remember, y is starting at the bottom. But let me just hit play, see if it all works, and see if the game is now using the views. The enemies, only when they're on the screen, are they either going to move, or are they going to move and shoot, or whatever happens. And so you'll see here, there's no, even though the enemy's coming, he's not going to shoot until he's on the screen.